Winter in Europe is a season of striking contrasts. In the Benelux countries, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, gray skies, damp cold, and the chance of snow define the season, turning cities into winter wonderlands. Meanwhile, Portugal's Algarve coast often enjoys mild, sunny days, while Lisbon and Porto experience cooler temperatures and life-giving rains. For Benelux, winter means preparation for cold and snow. For Portugal, it's a gentler, quieter time. This year, as we approach winter 2025, 2026, the big question is, what will the season bring? Will Benelux face heavy snow or a milder, wetter winter? Will Portugal's south stay sunny, or will storms bring rain and wind? Today, November 3rd, 2021, we know we're in 25 spiken stau, and Dewi, we know we're Dean Sir Dides, Swar Diba, we know la dun don stau, when Jan Dies to return to Swar Dun. The long-range models to piece together what to expect from both regions. Forecasting the winter months ahead is always a complex challenge, one that requires meteorologists to piece together clues from a variety of sources. They rely on advanced climate models, real-time ocean temperature readings, and a range of atmospheric indices to make sense of what's coming. Each year brings its own unique set of variables, and for the 2025-26 season, the puzzle is especially intriguing. This winter, two major climate patterns are taking center stage: a weak La Niña event in the Pacific Ocean, and a highly volatile North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO. These two forces will interact in ways that could shape the weather across Europe and beyond, influencing everything from temperature swings to precipitation patterns. La Niña, even in its weaker form, tends to disrupt the usual flow of weather systems. Over Europe, it can act like a barrier, blocking or redirecting storms and leading to prolonged spells of certain weather types, sometimes keeping things drier or colder than usual, or in other cases, trapping milder air in place. Meanwhile, the North Atlantic Oscillation is expected to swing between positive and negative phases. This means the season could be full of contrasts. Periods of mild, wet weather suddenly giving way to sharp, cold snaps. The result is a winter that keeps everyone guessing, with rapid changes from one week to the next. For the Benelux region, the forecast suggests a December that's mostly mild and wet, with frequent rain showers and overcast skies. But as we move into January and February, the potential for a negative NAO increases. This could open the door for cold Arctic air to sweep in, bringing the possibility of significant snowfall and icy conditions, especially during short, intense cold spells. While it's unlikely to be a winter of deep, persistent snow cover, there's a higher chance than usual for memorable cold snaps. Those days when the city wakes up to a frosty landscape and everyone reaches for their warmest coats. In Portugal, the story is a bit different. A southward shifted storm track could bring more frequent and heavier rain, especially to the north and central regions. The Algarve, by contrast, is likely to remain relatively mild, with cloudy skies and only occasional rain, making it a potential refuge for those seeking a gentler winter. Expect beneficial rains that help replenish reservoirs and support agriculture, but also be aware of the risk of localized flooding in low-lying areas. Temperatures are forecast to be slightly above average, but the overall feel will be damper and more unsettled than in recent years. This winter, it's wise to keep both raincoats and umbrellas close at hand. Sunglasses might still make an occasional appearance, but the real essentials will be gear for wet and windy days. All in all, the stage is set for a dynamic and unpredictable winter across both Benelux and Portugal, a season that promises variety, surprises, and plenty of weather to talk about. For Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, the winter of 2025-26 is shaping up to be a return to classic, old-fashioned conditions, something locals haven't seen in quite a few years. After a string of milder, wetter winters, this season promises a more traditional mix of cold, snow, and dramatic weather shifts that will be felt across the region. December sets the tone with persistent rain, drizzle, and thick, overcast skies. The damp cold seeps into the bones, making the warmth of cozy cafes and heated homes especially inviting. Streets glisten under the constant drizzle, and the air is filled with the scent of wet cobblestones and wood smoke. But the real story begins in January. Meteorologists are watching a potential blocking high over Scandinavia, which could funnel frigid Arctic air directly into the Low Countries. This pattern often brings sharp, biting winds and a sudden drop in temperatures, transforming the landscape almost overnight. Several intense, cold snaps are likely, with daytime temperatures barely climbing above freezing. Nights could be especially harsh, and the risk of widespread, disruptive snowfall increases dramatically. Streets and canals may freeze, and the region could see scenes reminiscent of winters from decades past. Snow events could be significant, especially in January and February. The Ardennes, with its higher elevations, is set to enjoy a robust winter sports season, drawing skiers and snowboarders eager for fresh powder and crisp mountain air. For the low-lying Netherlands, travel disruption is almost certain. Icy highways, delayed trains, and slippery bike paths will challenge daily routines, making winter preparedness more important than ever. This winter marks a clear shift from the recent run of mild years. For many, it will be a vivid reminder that true cold and heavy snow can still return, just as older generations remember from their childhoods. For snow lovers, there's real promise. Children will build snowmen, and winter sports enthusiasts will rejoice. But for commuters and city dwellers, extra planning and caution will be essential to navigate the season's challenges. This winter, respect the season. Its beauty and its challenges will go hand in hand, offering both magical moments and reminders of nature's power. Whether you're enjoying a snowy sunrise or braving a blizzard, the Low Countries are set for a winter to remember. Portugal's winter reputation for mild, sunny days comes with caveats this year. A fluctuating NAO and southward storm track mean a wetter, more active season, especially in the north and center. Porto and Lisbon will see more rain and wind, with the north feeling particularly damp and stormy. Lisbon's rainfall will help replenish water supplies, but strong winds and high surf could impact the coast. Even the Algarve may see more rainy days and gusty winds than usual. Don't expect uninterrupted sunshine. This winter, the Atlantic's power will be on full display. Portugal's weather will be dynamic, reminding us that even the sunniest corners can turn stormy. To understand this winter, it helps to look back at similar years. For Benelux, the pattern recalls 2012-13, a mild start, then a dramatic cold spell with heavy snow. This year, the cold may arrive earlier, in January and February, with a backloaded winter. Portugal's closest match is 2009-10, a winter of repeated Atlantic storms and persistent rain, especially in the north. The main risk for Portugal is not cold, but sustained rainfall and storminess. This forecast marks a shift from the mild, dry winters of recent years. We're returning to a more dynamic, high-impact winter pattern. Climate is cyclical. Cold, snowy winters can always return. As winter settles in, its weather will shape daily routines and challenge communities across both Benelux and Portugal. The season brings not just a change in temperature, but a shift in how people move, work, and live. In Benelux, transportation becomes a daily struggle. Snow and ice threaten to disrupt airports, clog highways, and make bike lanes treacherous. Commuters may face delays, and public services will be stretched to keep roads and railways clear. The energy grid will be under pressure as demand for heating rises, and even a short cold snap can ripple through the region's infrastructure. For households, higher heating bills are almost certain, and families may need to adapt to unexpected school closures or remote workdays. While children might enjoy snow days, the challenges of keeping homes warm and safe are real for many. In Portugal, the story is different but equally challenging. Heavy rain and strong winds can quickly lead to urban flooding, snarling traffic and making commutes hazardous. Dampness seeps into homes, raising concerns about mold and mildew, especially in older buildings. Along the coasts, stormy days become more frequent. Fishermen face rougher seas, and coastal erosion accelerates, threatening homes and livelihoods. Communities must stay vigilant as the sea encroaches further each year. Outdoor tourism slows as rain interrupts travel plans, and agriculture faces a double-edged sword. While rain can nourish crops, too much at once risks flooding fields and damaging harvests. The balance between much-needed rain and destructive floods is delicate. Communities must be ready to respond quickly to changing conditions, as a gentle shower can turn into a dangerous flood overnight. Preparation and flexibility are essential. Stocking up on supplies, insulating homes, and staying informed can make all the difference. Neighbors supporting each other will help everyone get through the toughest days. Whether it's shoveling snow, navigating flooded streets, or simply braving the wind and rain, this winter will test the resilience and adaptability of everyone in these regions. Stay alert, stay prepared, and be ready to adapt as conditions change. With vigilance and community spirit, everyone can navigate the winter grind together. Extreme events often define a winter. In Benelux, the main threat is a major snowstorm. 6 to 12 inches in a day could paralyze the region. Ice storms are also possible, coating everything in glaze and causing power outages and travel chaos. These high-impact events, while rare, are possible with this year's pattern. In Portugal, the biggest risk is from atmospheric rivers. Torrential rain over several days could trigger flooding and landslides, especially in the north. The Douro and Tagus valleys are particularly vulnerable. A rapidly intensifying Atlantic storm could also bring hurricane-force winds and severe coastal flooding. Such events would leave a lasting mark on communities. This winter, both regions must be ready for the unexpected. Extreme weather is always a possibility. Preparation is crucial. Winter's impact will vary by region and infrastructure. In the Netherlands, snow and rain could test dikes and canals, while frozen waterways may halt barge traffic. Urban centers will feel the brunt of transportation paralysis during snowstorms. In the Ardennes, snow boosts tourism but can isolate villages and strain emergency services. Heavy, wet snow and wind may cause power outages in rural areas. Along Portugal's coast, stronger storms mean high surf, erosion, and risks to fishing and tourism. Inland, the Alentejo welcomes rain for crops, but too much too quickly can cause erosion and damage. Farmers hope for steady, soaking rains, not destructive deluges. Each region faces its own balance of benefits and risks. Local adaptation will be essential this winter. With a dynamic winter ahead, preparation is vital. In Benelux, service your heating, seal drafts, and prepare an emergency kit for power outages. Switch to winter tires, keep a car kit with warm clothes and supplies, and check forecasts before travel. Cyclists should consider studded tires and good lights. In Portugal, check roofs and windows for leaks, clear gutters, and prepare for flooding if you're in a low-lying area. Have a go bag ready with essentials and know your evacuation routes. For everyone, stay informed. Weather can change quickly. Use reliable apps and heed official warnings. Understanding risks and staying updated is your best defense. This winter, readiness is key. Be prepared for whatever comes.